we are here to do, last but not least, Virgo. Okay, you have an interesting read ahead of you. Now, I pulled the ruin for you guys. For those of you that don't know, psychic medium, astrology, tarot and divination up during this read. And we're going to do the moon energy as well as how each moon phase affects your romance house. And then deep into the romance read. So this is the ruin you've got. You've also got sacral chakra. Ooh, devil in the detail, bit of temptation energy, and walking in beauty, which is interesting because we do have the full moon in Taurus at the end of the month, which can link into luxuries. Plus, we're going to have Mercury retrograde in Scorpio. Sometimes we tend to buy things randomly. Be careful of that. Take time for reflection. Be careful. And I had to look at that and go, what's going on with this? Because with the ruin, let's read up on it, shall we? Relates to eagle, Thursday, fire, Thor, change in direction, movement, progress, journey, relocation, habit breaking, and rhythm. Cosmic order, any sixth house? I'm going to double check this. Cosmic order, ritual journey, vision quest, personal destiny. It's not in reverse, but in reverse, it's status crisis, rigidity, and wrong actions, which I feel you guys are correcting something. You know, you're dealing with maybe your cravings, your hunger, your appetite. We did have the new moon in Virgo last month on the 17th. So some of that frequency can be coming through where you're looking at it, and sometimes it can relate in with, health and things we do to deal with our emotions and things to that degree. But I feel some of you are really looking at your passions and your hopes, okay? Now, let me have a very quick look at your chart. Some of you also, your home and accommodation has changed. Now, you got the 4th house in Sagittarius. Now, Jupiter went direct last month. Some of you could be finding that some of the things need changing, some of the things need repairing. You also maybe are looking at home energy as something different. It's something inside, not necessarily a 3D. Yes, we do need a 3D energy. But potentially between the next 2.5 years, you may be moving house, but this subject can be coming up as well. So keep an eye on that, because the aspects that are occurring to Jupiter this month can be bringing about that frequency. What else do we have? We also have the energy of your routine and your social endeavors. Can be coming up this month, and look, your hopes and dreams and aspirations are up for review. Now we have the Sun in Libra, and that is hitting your 2nd house. So assets, the things you have, maybe networking, maybe even if you're looking for a job, utilizing that energy, trying to create balance in that area. But you could be summing things up, maybe doing an audit and seeing what you own and what you do and don't need. But also, looking into what you do have at your disposition to make things happen. Now, by the 22nd of October, we have the 3rd house activated. And I'm really feeling, especially with Mercury retrograde, any 3rd house placement, just be super careful. I mean, collectively, we do have Scorpio in the 8th, which is, births, deaths, endings. Plus, Mercury is generally local travel. It's also our communication, it's IT, it's technology, it's travel. It can be controller-related dynamics. Now, Scorpionic energy, think about things. Don't be away with the fairies. Really concentrate on the road, because you can find that people can be more prone to, not concentrating on the road and things to that degree. Also, be very, very careful with your communication. You may hear something. You may have a hunch. The Scorpion, Sun and Scorpio, listen to the devil in the detail. I do feel we're going to hear something. You need to trust what your feelings are to do with it. Now, Lilith is in Aries currently, which is your 8th house placement, which is shared resources. Having to look over that, be it you're getting a payment from somewhere, or it's your wage, or it could be within a connection. There could be changes. It's not permanent. With the transit of Mars, You can find, again, with Mercury retrograde, there can be delays with finances and things to that degree. But again, anything you're dealing with, if there's been like suddenly a dip in that and it's changing around, most of what you do, as long as you are, really paying attention to it, trying to gradually get on top of things, you will persevere through. But you've got to be careful of your temptation energy. So try not to waste. Look at what you need to do over, what your desires are. And with the desires factor, you will find towards mid-month to the end of the month, some of those benefits can start coming back to you at a financial level. You may want to upgrade some things, and this can be frustrating you as well. Now, as Pluto goes direct, it is hitting your fifth house placement. So again, potentially some changes happening for those of you that have children. There can also be sudden pregnancies. I'm also seeing the energy of fertility checks and things like that, ovaries. Again, I'm not a medical practitioner. This is more from a fifth house astrology placement, and we have to say entertainment purposes. Okay, so fifth house placement is luck, romance, and children. Some of those subjects of what you've been experiencing and thinking back on may be up for changes. And, after the retrograde, you do tend to find we're directly applying that energy now to bringing things to a head, transferring them, changing them around. Mercury retrograde, these old situational shifts can come back to cause a little bit of arduous energy. So if you do find that, people are coming back and want to make peace or maybe want to talk about things that you said, and you're thinking, that's funny, I was just thinking about you, don't be surprised because it does link in that way. So very strongly at the beginning of the month, we do have for you guys, a little bit of triggers, a little bit of concerns, maybe to do with finances and your hopes and dreams and your work and, trying to get your power back. Like, what do you do under the current forecast? What do you do? So, work through that. Again, look at what you do have at your disposition. Is it a partner? Is it an income? Whatever that be, look at your paperwork. But also, step back and just take stock of where you are right now, especially if you don't directly have a solution. Then we have the energy of the new moon in Libra. And that's happening on the 16th. Again, it can be things to do with land, to do with you networking. It's quite funny. You do have the Two of Swords in reverse. So again, with career sector, some of you may be thinking you maybe need to upskill, maybe need to do something different. Due to your circumstances and what your responsibilities are, how can you do everything? Some of you can feel a little bit blocked. Again, do try and have faith. Look outside the box and actually look inside yourself, because some of the experiences that you've had, it can directly be applied. Again, do follow your intuition. Hi, True Heart. Follow your intuition. But check whether it's I'm scared over it's I'm being cautious. With contracts and things to that degree, it's more the forgetful energy, lost in translation, so to speak. Sometimes we can miss an email. Make sure during Mercury retrograde you just double check. Did I miss something? Get back to people, and follow those things through. But there's some element of confusion by mid-month. Even though it is a super new moon and it is at 23 degrees, which is the critical degree, some sense of justice, contracts, balance, can even be relationships can be under the microscope, and you're really still trying to, and some of these people might be behaving slightly odd, which is actually at this point in time quite normal. So the full moon in Taurus hits your ninth house, the bigger picture and the scope of things, both financially and spiritually. Some of you may be looking at the fact that you need to maybe you're looking at something wrong. Maybe you need to upskill. Maybe you believe something to be so and you're better off than you thought. But there's a element here that you're having an assessment, again, with your money, because Taurus can be work-related. It can be what you've been directly doing. It is a new moon in the ninth house energy for you. Ninth house can be to do with religion, education, foreign countries, travel and purpose, and communication really is going to be the key here. So definitely during Mercury retrograde in Scorpio, really pay close attention to anything you need to follow up around this time. Now, romantically speaking, especially with the crystal, I take time for reflection. I see life from a higher perspective. Observe life from a greater perspective, reflect on the inner light, develop consistent spiritual practices, increase spiritual awareness, meditate regularly. I'm feeling even the peace of mind to be able to make healthy decisions. Some of you have maybe been working on that. Let's see where Pisces is for you. Where are we at? It's the end of the day for me. There you are. Yeah, your hopes and dreams inside of connections, it makes sense. So, Neptune and Pisces is retrograde. So maybe things have been a bit testing. Maybe you felt that something was painted in a particular way and it hasn't quite turned out the way you thought it was. Also, I do feel a lot of you are reflecting about the big picture. And look, you could already be in the relationship and it could be really, really beautiful. But it's just this let down energy of, why didn't you meet this person earlier? Or why didn't you take left? Or why didn't you take right? It just feels very matter-of-fact energy. I do feel that with somebody saying to somebody, everything's going to be okay. This can be your guides, or this directly can be your love interest speaking to you at some point. Can even be thinking back to something that they said and, concerns about finances, home and things to that degree. What is being shown to me is there's a spiritual energy that of a perspective that's being purged at the moment. And I do feel romantically after that fact, there should be a shift within that energy. Now, at the new moon in Libra for you guys, you may feel a little bit manipulated. You might be thinking that, second house placement is to do with what you have. What are you wanting from me? Do you love me for me, or is it something I do for you? Again, because we have Aries and Chiron, this isn't a personal thing the way the messages are coming through. It's just very natural for us to have old triggers coming up. So it's directly going to come through sometimes in the reads. Now, this could be the way another person feels or directly how you're feeling. You both in separate ways may have been manipulated in the past, but somebody may want something from you. There could be a tying up also connected to that. There could be a big purchase. It may be dipping into somebody's savings, and one of you is being very cautious. And you're thinking, look, it's, due to the fact you love this person, it could be tempting in nature. Again, do we need it? Is it necessary? Some things you're trying to tie up, this can be bills, etc., and you just feel it's unnecessary right now. I'm also seeing the energy of a diamond ring for some of you. And I'm not saying that that's unnecessary. Like, I know that sounds bad, but it's I don't want that to come across as rude or anything to that degree. But there can be some dates. Maybe you're talking or they're talking to somebody else privately. Making all these plans, telling people how they feel about you, and there is sort of an element of a surprise here. They're super excited. Now, towards the end of the month with this Taurus energy, I do feel you guys, there is going to be a lot of effort that's going to go into this connection, and it's going to require it. Also to do with your hopes and dreams, there could be a major plan or a sudden event that leads you to a point where you do need to move, and you're kind of thinking, wow, where did that come from, sort of thing. So there could be a sudden event, and it could be to, how do I put it? It's not wrong. It's just something sudden comes out of left field, and potentially there could be a shift. And the shift could just be emotional. It's no fight. It's nothing to that degree. It just feels a sudden turn of events, and the energy of the connection has changed. The energy of this is going a different way. It's not to do with another person. Or if it was to do with another person, this person isn't in the sphere no more. So whatever this is, though, there is a quick 360. Let's look at the love for Virgo. You could be going from one way of being to engaged. And you could be like, where the heck did that come from? That was very quick. I did not see that. Yeah, new cycle starting in romance. Looking back and you're like, oh, I've done it all. It's like, just as you thought that was so, something comes at left field. Yeah, challenges. Working through them. Recovering or recouping. Burdens being dropped on you. You thought you met your lotto match. You really did. This isn't going to last forever, but you're also feeling very, very tired. You, you know, a lot of what you're doing and what this love interest is doing, again, you've got, you know, walking in beauty. You're not a prima donna, okay? You're happy to get your hands dirty to make things work. There could be external influences here playing out that could be causing conflict. You're being protective. You've been there, done that. You've been through what they've been through and more. You knew this was going to come to a head. Some of you have been feeling that tired that, you know, you're like, oh, well, I didn't know this would happen, so why did I do X, Y, and Z? And it was because you wanted your hopes and dreams. You know, it was for the bigger picture. There could be conflict happening. You could be well aware of this. You're trying to take a very tactical approach how you deal with this. It's like keeping shop, you know, keeping quiet about something, meditating upon it, not telling anyone, because there could be some projection. And I do feel at a soul level, you guys may be not wanting everyone to know your business. I do feel this really, really private energy. Yeah, you're just not wanting to share that with people. You have a grand reveal coming up in 2021 and you're launching it. I don't even think the people around you know. Whatever you're mustering up and thinking on, it's a big picture. It's quite exciting. It's something you're about to do, something personal. Let's get back to romance. I get these interesting downloads. Okay, so a lot of completions coming up. Okay, those of you that are single, what do you need to know for the energy surrounding this love? For those of you in communication, that one. For those of you in no communication. For those of you on the fence. Separation. Okay, those of you that don't want this, you're going to go. You're like, I've seen enough. I can't. Tip. For those of you that are in the connection, you're dealing with anything that has really hindered this. You're dealing with anything that has been blocking this. Those of you that are single, psychically speaking, it almost feels like psychic attack. You will intuitively know when this person is coming. For those of you in no contact, they don't want to let you go. There's going to be some movement, so get ready. Did I miss one? Anyone? Yeah, I think this surprise with the death card in reverse, they're not willing to let this go. They could also be dealing with a subject that they're having to spiritually let go of, but I think it's more to do with you. I don't feel this is, I just feel they've got this, like, if you've really shut them down and been quite cross by the scenario, they're not taking no for an answer. I do feel they're coming back during this time and wanting to talk to you. Overall, what do I feel? I feel lots of plans that you have. I do feel there is maybe some belief systems you have to do with some of your hopes and dreams. I just look hopes and dreams, like, you know, hopes released. You know, you've held these on hold, and it does feel you're trying to pull everything together. You don't want to be doing that forever. You know, you're daringly going where no man or woman has gone before you. Like, you're really, really wanting it all. You've got all these desires that you're wanting to create, and it just feels like you're really bringing it to a head. Some of you have a great deal of chemistry with this person, and you want to go away, and you want to go somewhere pretty. Okay, you want to go somewhere attractive. But you're also looking at the current energy. This can even be looking at the weather forecast and going, I don't know if that location will work. But there is a plan, in a sense, for the bigger picture. You're trying to look at the bigger picture. I do feel some of you could even be, again, I keep feeling home energy, something to do with home. I did mention that. Moving. Your perspective as well on where you're living and the location of family, I think maybe there's something inside you that's grown, because Sagittarius can really link to siblings and family. Some of you are quite happy to venture out further, and it does feel kind of like never thought you'd say that, because there is this traditional kind of value system, and suddenly it feels like you'd be quite happy to go overseas, or, you know, and it's like your soul's calling you for something different. You do feel nervous, but for some of you, it is travel further away, bigger picture, or a bigger house. Could even be a smaller house, but I feel it's a big house. Last card for Virgo. And feel free to shoot away your questions while I'm here, because I'm off to trot. Yeah, some of you could have had a lot of responsibilities growing up. And again, there might be some that you're dropping, like, I can't do that. Yeah. Yeah, there definitely is this element over the next 2.5 years, and I think it's going to come up quite a bit. There is a move, but each time I feel there's a transition of you personally transforming through that energy, and that's for the energy of Virgo. I do feel the energy of move. I think especially with 2020, your health is going to be different. A lot of the steps you're taking inside your career sector are going to balance out, but you've got to take the steps now. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I hope this has helped you. I will do lives, especially for those of you that are TX, Twin Flames, and in soul connections. And I'm definitely going to start covering the energy, both for masculines and feminines, when it does come to lessons, karmic energies, astrology, and things to that degree, because I was really basing a lot of them on energy of masculine, feminine, now and then that. But I have noticed energetically there are some that are still stuck in that energy with the karmic. So we shall look. Love and light. And I will talk to you guys all later. I hope this has helped. Thank you for liking and joining. If you do want a booking, the link is below.